Hello, my name is Emily. I am 32 years old and I come from Germany. I was a single mother to my 8-year-old son, Noah. Life was not easy, but we were happy. I worked 2 jobs, paid our bills, and did everything I could to give Noah a good life. My sister Claire had always looked down on us. She was wealthy, successful, and never missed a chance to remind me. One Sunday, our family gathered for my mother's birthday. There were cupcakes on the table. Noah reached for one, smiling. Claire suddenly grabbed his hand. "Those are for children with a future," she said coldly. Everyone went silent. But Claire had no idea what was coming next. If you enjoy my story, subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what you would have done in my place. Claire pulled the cupcake tray away from Noah and placed it behind her. My face burned with anger. "Claire, he's 8 years old. It's just a cupcake." She smiled coldly. "I'm talking about more than a cupcake. Emily, I spent years building a future for my children. You should do the same instead of making excuses." Noah looked down, embarrassed. I wanted to leave, but my mother stopped me. Then Claire said something that shocked me. "Actually, everyone should know why Emily has never been able to give her son a proper future." The room became silent. I asked, "What are you talking about?" Claire opened her handbag and pulled out a document. "This," she said, "will explain everything." I stared at the papers, unable to breathe. What I saw on the first page made my hands shake. I stared at the document in Claire's hand. It was a copy of my late father's will. Claire pointed at one paragraph. "Dad left a large part of his inheritance to Noah," she said. But there was one condition. The money had to be protected until he became an adult. My heart stopped. I knew nothing about this. Claire smiled. "Mom and I have been managing everything. You never even asked." I immediately looked at my mother. She avoided my eyes. Then I noticed something strange. The document had a bank account number written on it, but the last digits had been crossed out. I took a photo of the page while everyone was distracted. That night, I checked the information carefully. Something was terribly wrong. The account connected to Noah's inheritance had been empty months earlier. Someone had taken the money. I contacted a lawyer the next morning and quietly asked for the original will and bank records. 3 days later, the lawyer called me. "Emily, you need to sit down," he said. "There is another beneficiary listed in the original document." My hands went cold. It was Claire. But that wasn't the worst part. The signature beside her name looked exactly like mine. I stared at the signature on the original document. It looked like mine, but I knew I had never signed it. My lawyer immediately contacted the bank and requested the full records. A week later, we had the proof. Claire had transferred Noah's inheritance into an account she controlled. My mother had helped her hide it. I confronted them both. Claire became furious. "You were never supposed to find out." That sentence was all we needed. The police were contacted and the bank froze the remaining money. Claire was later charged with fraud, while my mother had to explain her part in court. But there was one final surprise. Claire had spent years calling Noah a child without a future. Yet the money she stole was meant to build his future. Most of it was recovered. I opened a savings account in Noah's name and promised him I would protect it until he was old enough to use it himself. Months later, we attended another family gathering. There were cupcakes on the table. Noah looked at me and smiled. I took 2 cupcakes and handed him one. "Take one," I whispered. "You have a future." He smiled. And this time, nobody dared to stop him. I learned something important. People who think they are better than you often reveal themselves when they believe you are too weak to fight back. Claire thought she could take away my son's future. Instead, she lost everything she had built her life around. And Noah finally understood that his future was never decided by someone else's cool words. Future was never decided by someone else's cool words.